Back, we continue our conversation right here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Bob Pompeani and Ron Cook. We have some Twitter reaction before I go back to the phone lines. Corey Welsh says, Bob, you're right. This has happened before with Steeler legends. Did Harrison leave the right way? No, but he's a Steeler legend. He should be in the Hall of Fame. We'll see on that. Bob Sassy on Twitter says, Yahoo Sports reporting there was a picture of Sidney Crosby in urinals in the arena Sunday. Philly fans are the worst. And Ron, you were there. I've seen a lot of pictures on Twitter about it. I can't believe that people would do that. But then again, it's
it's what they do. I mean, they more worry about booing Crosby and taking his name in vain than they do about cheering for their own team. It's the thing I've ever seen in sports. I find them to be mostly despicable there. I think they're the worst fans in sports. And I love it. They're so dumb that the more they do it with Crosby, the better he plays. He thrives on it. And they can do their Crosby stinks, substitute whatever word you want in there, all they want, and he just loves it. He doesn't care.
John, on line 4. Hey, John, welcome.
Yes, Bob, This is John on pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, John.
I'd just like to make a comment on the Pirates' pitching staff on the relieving on the 7th and 8th and 9th inning.
Okay.
I know they like to go with Contos and then Telion and then back to the guy changed his name. But we got two of the top relievers, and we're not taking them into the 7th through the 9th. These guys are only throwing 15 pitches an inning.
So what's your point? You don't like the fact that they're specialty pitchers? Is that what you're saying?
Well, what I'm saying is they're only throwing 15 pitches, and they're professional ball players. These guys should be able to go to.
It's changed. I understand. Thanks for the call, but
they have their roles. He wants them in one inning, and that's it. Now tonight, Glasnow pitched, gave up a home run. He pitched 2 innings. He and Brault, who was originally planning to be in the bullpen, were the guys that were going to give him a couple innings. They don't want one more inning from Vasquez. They don't want one more inning from Contos. That's the way they have it set up, and that's the way most managers do it now.
All right, by the way, coming up tonight at 11 o'clock on KDKA-TV Sports, I want you to tune in because we're going to show you how Bryce Harper hit his 8th home run of the season.
Was that remarkable?
With a broken bat. He broke his bat, and he hit it.
He didn't hit it with a broken bat, but when he hit it, his bat
broke.
Shattered.
I
don't know that I've ever seen that.
No, I've never seen. I don't. Maybe it's happened, but I don't remember.
What do you think he's going to be paid at the end of the year?
Not what he wants.
Not what he wants, but I'll settle
for. Are you kidding me? That's going to be like Stanton's contract.
I'll settle for whatever he gets. I think he's the best player in the game. I'll take him.
I'll take Trout over. I'll
Trout.
take Trout is better than Bryce Harper.
We can agree to disagree.
Not bad choices.
Just don't get cantankerous tonight.
James in Uniontown. Hey, James, how you doing?
How you doing, Bob?
Good, thanks.
I was wondering, Pittsburgh has a pitcher, I think he's in the minor leagues, Kingham. I think he should be probably starting right now in the rotation, what they have.
Well, he was down in spring training, and he's a guy they think can be up here.
Coming back from an injury,
right.
Arm injury.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, and I think you will see him one day. Wasn't he the pitcher of the month down there, or pitcher of the week?
And I tell you what, he's got a lot of stuff. He's a tall kid who can bring it.
I don't think he's far away, especially if Brault and Cole continue to pitch the way they have.
Let's go to Double K in Ford City. Double K, you are on the way. What's up?
Too hard to make a distinction between the players of the 70s for the Steelers, but the one guy that was at the top of it all was Chuck Noll, the Emperor. I've been advocating for about 10 years now they needed a statue out there for him. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right.
Well, certainly would make a strong case. How about Dan Rooney? No one's done more in the league than him. I mean, you could.
They could have Monument Park out there like the Yankees have. You could have them all.
Maybe what you should do. Maybe what they should do. You could make a great case for Noel, for Rooney, for Joe Green. Absolutely.
Let's go to Tony in Brookline. Hey, Tony, what's on your mind tonight?
Yeah, Bob, I got a question. Since Bell isn't going to show up for training camp again, why should he get paid?
Well, they don't get paid in training camp. But he doesn't want to get
He's not allowed
hurt.
to show up until he signs that tender.
Right, but even those who are there,
they
don't get paid.
he's not technically a contract holdout. He can't show up until he signs. They knew what they were getting into with him. I don't have any sympathy for them on that. They could have chose to let him go. I'm glad they didn't. I want to take another run with them, with Ben and Brown and that offensive line, but they knew what they were getting. He's never misled them.
No, and what it's done, though, it's made it difficult to go out and sign anybody aside from, guys who can come in here maybe as depth players, but they can't really do much beyond that with that much money, $14.5 million allocated for one guy. And and he is that guy. But he gives you what he gives you. Now, I think he needs to be better than last year. I thought his per carry average went down. He needs to be better than he was last year at that price tag and what they expect from him. All right. Thanks very much for that call. Let's go to Rich in the West End. Hey, Rich, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Bob?
Good, Rich.
Hey, guys, what's up? Hey, yeah, I just want to talk about the two Harrisons. Start with James Harrison. I mean, I agree with these guys. He was good. He was real good, but he's not going to make it. Nah, there's too many people ahead of him.
What else?
And,
all right, we're up against the break, though. If you wanted to talk about Josh Harrison, that guy gets hit more than he's like a modern-day Ron. I mean, he gets hit a lot.
I think more than anybody but Rizzo.
Right.
The Cubs, and Rizzo basically sits out over home plate. I don't know. Josh has got to change something. I don't know what he's got to do. He just can't keep breaking his hands and wrists and arms like this. He's too valuable to them. I really like him as a player. I think they're going to really miss him.
Yeah, he was completely irritated that he got hit yesterday.
He should be.
As soon as he knew it, when he left the field, you knew that it was going to be long-term, and it is going to be 6 weeks. And there's not much you can do with your hand other than let it heal, and that's what he's going to have to do. We're due for a break. We'll be back right after this on Pittsburgh CW.